Hi everybody, it's Laura, Tuesday at 10, a little late, because it was 99 last night at 9:45, and I spent the evening without air conditioning in central Georgia, and it just took me a little longer to get myself together today. So I'm glad that I'm here. I'm glad that you're here. And we're going to talk today about some life-changing events, okay? 2 years ago today, well, I should back up. Prior to 2 years ago today, I was challenged by one of my mentors, my business mentors, to make a summer plan. And that's not something that we tend to do. A lot of people don't. As adults, you know, when you're in school, you look forward to summer and what are you going to do? And usually it's kind of vague, because when you're a child, you don't have a lot of control over stuff, but you think, well, I'm going to go swimming, I'm going to play with my friends or whatever. When you get older and you have more control over whether you're going to get in your car and go on vacation, or you're going to have a staycation, or just whatever, you have more control over your plans. But as my daughter grew up and got older, we always did girls' trips. She's an only child, so it was just the two of us. But we would do girls' trips, and we did all kinds of different things. Like one time we did a 5K in a cave. One time we went to Miami and met a bunch of my old friends. There's just all kinds of things. We went to Silver Springs. We watched the mermaids. We just have done so many different unusual things, and this was not a childish thing. She was grown. So 2 years ago, this business mentor of mine gave us a challenge to plan something that you can look forward to and use it as a celebration. It's always good to plan celebrations because it gives you a milestone, it gives you a marker of what you have accomplished. So this is what I decided. And we were supposed to write it down, take a photo of ourselves, and post it. So this is what, and it's going to be backwards because I didn't change it, but this is what I posted. It says, go to You Pick 'em Lavender Farm with daughter. And later I decided to add the July 17th so I would remember. Well, in the meantime, my daughter's boyfriend asked could he go with us. And I was like, on our girls' trip? But he had already asked my husband for our daughter's hand in marriage. And it was going to be just an incredible surprise. So we all traipsed up there, and we ended up picking the flowers, picking the lavender, and it was a magical day. He proposed in a gazebo in the middle of the lavender fields. It was incredible. But who knew what would happen in the next 2 years? And there's so many things that I actually wrote it down because I've been thinking about this. So part of the things that have gone on this past 2 years is what we're going to paint today. But I'm just going to read you the list. You can't believe what we've been through this last 2 years. So they got engaged. One changed jobs. The other one started his own company. They moved 3 times, which of course, all the parents came and helped. He totaled his truck, which was terribly scary. He was not hurt. They had parties and showers and photo shoots. They got married. We had a hurricane that a tree fell on our house, and they were staying with us that day. There were changes in caregiving situations with the grandparents on both sides. So a lot of emotional stress, a lot of changes. Now let me read you the list of the most stressful things there are in your life. Period. Tell me if you recognize some of them from the original list. Issues at work, changing jobs, a change in relationship, moving, downsizing, which is one of the things they also did. And we also have been doing it as well. Pregnancy and the having a child, injury, and death. I think we have about 9 out of 10 of those things that have gone on in the past 2 years. So some of you know, some of you participated in the guessing if you was going to be team boy or team girl. So pregnancy was one of the things, and it is coming soon. I probably should have worn blue because we're having a little boy, but we're going to paint blue instead, okay? And I bring all this up to tell you something. As we paint, we're going to talk about it. So I'm going to bring it down to my table. There we go. Oh, I see somebody has come. Let me see if I can. Good morning, whoever. So, oh, it's Laurie. Hello, Laurie. I'm so glad you came. Thanks for the grace. It was sure a hot night. So we will have to, what I decided to do with this, and I don't know if you can see the little pencil mark, but I just decided that today I would sort of commemorate my daughter, but my little grandson is coming too. I always told her that I would never forsake her for the baby. And I mean that. I mean, I felt like when I had her, I felt like chopped liver, you know? Everybody wanted to see the baby. Nobody wanted to see me. But, so this is for him, but also for her. And so what I'm doing here is I'm just putting a little water down onto this watercolor paper. And this is a different kind of paper. I was sort of interested in this because I'll show you, as a matter of fact. This is the kind that I always use from Hobby Lobby, and it's 140 pound. It's cold pressed, and it has texture to it, which I particularly like. Now, if you do much watercolor, you know that hot press is much smoother, much smoother. No texture hardly at all. But what I'm painting on today is, there was a period of time where Hobby Lobby just didn't have any paper, and we talked about that on a live one day, and I wasn't sure why, but anyway, so I found this somewhere else. This is also very similar, but it is cold pressed, but it's halfway in between. It has a little texture, but it's almost smooth. And I noticed that it kind of gives me a different look. So we're gonna kind of try to work on this one and see how it goes. And what I thought, I'll have to move this around. What I thought I would do is kind of show you, since she has skin tone, we're going to kind of go in the orangish is for her skin tone. And of course, since she's a little boy, I'm going to do the blue. And this is a split complementary color scheme. So we have the color, the skin tone color, and it comes down here to this blue and a kind of an aqua blue. And also, I was thinking, watch how cool this is. If you go to the triad, you start with this flesh color, and it goes straight over here to green and lavender. Well, what if I wrapped her in a blue cloth, and I put green leaves and lavender flowers for where she got engaged? And then we would have the perfect color scheme, right? So I'm going to lay down this color mostly on the folds of this fabric. And then we're going to let it dry so that it will be a little bit darker as we begin to work on this, okay? So I bring all those categories of stress up to you because it is very important to know what are actually psychological stressors. Because sometimes you get involved in some of these things and you think, am I just losing my mind? I mean, how come I can't handle this? Why is it so hard? And it's not you. It's not you. You have to give yourself some grace. You have to give yourself the knowledge that this is a thing. This is a real thing. And it's okay to feel stressed. The thing of it is, you have to be careful to not stay in the fight or flight, stressful situation, because then it starts to take its toll on your health, right? Cardiovascular, high blood pressure, just emotions are amazing things. And I just read the other day that constant stress also contributes to psychological, things like dementia. So we live in a world now that's just so different than we were ever intended to live. So, and I know that I always say, you got to get rid of that stress. You got to, well, what do? You have to move. You have to have changes in your relationships. You have to, you just don't have control over a lot of that stuff. But sometimes, pardon me, sometimes if you know what's going on, you have a lot more control over it. It's the unknowing of the future that's so scary, when you don't know what's going to happen. And sometimes you don't know what's going to happen. But if you take notice, then you can start finding out, you can start finding the lessons in what you're going through. Not only will it make you stronger, more resilient, able to pivot, but you'll be able to help someone else who is in the same situation down the line. Let's see. I think I'm going to put this, my daughter has long blonde hair. And I'm going to put a blue bow in her hair to match this fabric. And I think I'm going to do some of the details with my watercolor pencils. If you don't have any of these are pretty easy to find. They're not all that terribly expensive. But what's so wonderful about it is you can put down the color And you can leave it like that, or you can activate it with water. That kind of leads me into something else I was gonna remind you guys about. We're gonna be doing, my friends and I are doing a create-a-thon again. And if you're not in the group, just let me know and I can get you the information. It's a free group, but you have to be in the group. And seven artists, 7 projects, 7 different things. Each of us have approximately an hour, so it'll be a 7-hour long thing. And I need to get this a little closer. And it's going to be on July the 17th. There will be replays. I know that's a long time, and sometimes if you're at work or whatever, you can't do all that. But anyway, I'm really excited about it because it's going to be on family traditions, and I'm going to teach you. For mine, everybody always has such cool things, but I'm going to teach you how to use a very interesting special supply to get sort of a shading watercolor type effect, but it's not watercolor. Isn't that cool? It's going to be so cool. I'm really excited about it. And I know that's a long way off, but I've been trying to stay ahead of these things because I want to be ready so that when this little one comes, we're ready. So now I'm just sort of blending a sort of a flesh color. It's a little bit orangey, but I don't even mind that. And I'm trying to being careful not to touch the blue. I don't really want that to blend. And when you think about where's the light coming from, right? I'm going to have my light coming from this direction. So we're going to have a little bit kind of on the front of the belly. A little bit of light on the round front part of the arm. The bottom of the hand. The back of her neck, sort of under her hair here. Under the chin. On her ear, and I think I'm going to kind of do the bulk of her face because she's sort of looking down. And these, I don't know if you're familiar, but these type paintings with no features on the face are called a primitive. I particularly like them. They just have a sweetness about them. I had originally, when she told us she was pregnant, I had originally planned on doing this painting, but I was going to do it a little bit later. But the very time she told me, I said, I'm going to guess June the 20th. Which is not even realistic, but we're going to see. We're going to see if that turns out. Of course, everybody has the pool going on. Let me check up here. Okay. Can you guys see close enough? All right. So I need to let that dry a little bit. And I did get, I just sort of, got some examples of some flowers out. None of these are lavender, but it's kind of got some ideas. And I did entertain the idea of putting a butterfly. Not sure I'm going to do that. Usually I have a whole composition done, a whole idea, but this one, I don't know. I just decided to let it be a little freer. Decide as I go, right? Let me see if I can make up a good color for her hair. It's kind of almost an auburn, isn't it? We'll put some little blonder streaks in it. It's all about the details, when you get all the, when you start with all the main thing, it's not all that interesting looking. But then when you start putting all the details in. So I'm hoping that we have run the gamut of all the things that could happen. And I'm looking forward to hopefully having some time that calms down a little bit. Now tell me what you think. With these flowers that I want to put in there, do I want to put it in the fabric or do I want to put it on the background? I'm not sure. What are you thinking? How's it looking? You kind of liked it. Okay. Well, I will continue to work on this. I'm going to bring you back up here. And no matter what you're going through in your life right now, you should give yourself some grace. It's okay. Other people have gone through things. It's not the end of the world. Sometimes I know it feels like the end of the world and you think, what am I going to do? But fortify yourself and you can get through it. And I'm here to help, okay? So say a little prayer for me and my family and our little one that's coming probably within the next 20 days or so. So you'll be seeing some exciting changes. Thank you again, always, for coming and being so loyal and being my friendly, loyal followers. And I will see you again soon. Be watching for fun posts from me. Thanks.